Hey guys, today I will show you 5 quick tips on how to negotiate on Alibaba. You can obviously also use these tips on any other supplier website, but since Alibaba is the main supplier for Amazon FBA, I'll just use Alibaba. Alright, so first things first, you always want to check whether you have buyer power or not. So what does buyer power mean? Buyer power means that there's a lot of suppliers which you can let them outbid each other. What does it mean? Well, for garlic press, there are a lot of suppliers, which means that you can go to each different supplier and get a quote from each and every single one and just go with the one that seems best to you. If there's only one supplier, then there's not really much to negotiate. You're just going to have to go with their terms because you can't go to a different supplier and they will obviously know whether they are the only supplier or not. So there's not really much room for negotiation. Right. Next thing, which is very relatable to the first thing. So the next thing is everything is negotiable as long as there are multiple suppliers, you can negotiate on almost every single thing. So let's just say you get a price for this specific item for 650 each, but you can obviously just tell them, it doesn't have to be true, but just tell them, we got a quote for a different supplier for $5 each, but we would really like to go into business with you. Is there anything you can do to help us out? If not, we're going to have to go with the other supplier. So they will obviously do a lower bid. If they just say no, but the lowest bid that we can do is 575, that's already lower than the initial 650 that they said at the first time. So then you saved 75 cents for your purchasement each unit. So that's the next tip. All right, for the third tip, the minimum order quantity. This is something that scares a lot of people off. So here you see only one piece, but here you see 3,000 pieces, 1,000 pieces, one piece, 500, 3,000. All right, so most of the suppliers are very likely to have something around 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Never be afraid to ask for the prices anyway. Everything is negotiable. Just ask if you want to go with this specific item, just ask the price for 1,000 pieces and they are very likely to just respond to you. But since there's a smaller economy of scale, you'll obviously get a higher price. But everything is negotiable, so you can go to them. You don't have to feel scared. If there's a high number, you can just purchase a lesser amount. Just always make sure to contact as much suppliers as you can. Alright, for the fourth tip, you want to make sure that you're actually in contact with a manufacturing company and not a trading or middleman. What does it actually mean? Well, you can't actually see on Amazon if it is a middleman or if it is a manufacturer, but you can get a really good indication. So let's just go with the first one. This is a garlic press for 650. So there's a very good chance that we will find the same exact product for a way less price. Alright, so I think this is already the same item. Yes, it is. Alright, so this is the same item for the 50% of the price. So that means that this is more likely to be a manufacturer and this is more likely to be a trading middleman. So you always want to make sure that you're actually in contact with the manufacturer because it will save a lot of money, because the middleman will obviously want to make a profit as well, so he'll just increase the price for his own margin. So you don't want to be in contact with these guys, you want to be in contact with the supplier. So for garlic press, you would contact these instead of this supplier. Alright, for the fifth and final tip, always promise them to buy more. If you get a quote from a supplier, for let's just say, for example, 500 units and 5,000 units, the cost per unit for 5,000 units will be way lower than the cost per unit for 500 units. But always make sure that if you're only ordering 500 units the first time, tell them that you intend to come back to them and that you will order more units after, but that you want to purchase the first 500 units for the cost per unit for the price of 5,000 units, which means that you will get a lower price for the first 500 units, even though you might not even come back to them. But this will save a lot of money. If you take a look at this garlic press, even though this might be a middleman, um, if you get a quote from them for 5,000 units, it will be around $6. And if you get a quote from them for 500 units, it's more likely to be around $10 to $15. So make sure you tell them that you want to try out the market first. It's a one time only, then you will buy way more. Just emphasize that you will come back and buy more for the same price, but that you want to buy 500 for the lower price initially. So always make sure to do that. All right, last but not least, a quick bonus tip on how to actually send questions to your supplier. From my own personal experience, when I send them multiple questions without them being numbered, I only get a response to the last question. So whenever you're going to ask them multiple questions, maybe out about the shipping time, the shipping cost, the cost per unit, whatsoever, always make sure you number each and every single question, because otherwise they won't respond to all of them. That was about it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.